Hi, I'm Patty. I'm a jewelry designer here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. And today I'm going to be taking you through making these really pretty fall themed earrings. Some of the things we'll need to make these will be some Swarovski Fire Opal bicones and Jet AB bicones, and some different gold-plated elements, including these really pretty gold-plated leaves. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we'll do is make the little dangles here with the Swarovski crystals. There's 3 of them here. There's a triple crystal dangle and a couple of singles. And we'll do those using some head pins. So I'm just going to grab those, set those here. You'll notice this head pin's a little crooked. Doesn't matter. We're only using just a little bit of it, so that's fine. So first thing we'll do is make this triple crystal dangle. And that will be using 2 of these 4mm Jet AB bicones and 1 of the 6mm, actually I think this might be a 5mm Fire Opal. So I'm going to thread on a jet, a Fire Opal, and a jet. And once they're on there, I can either use my fingernail and clamp those and push this against my fingernail to make a 90-degree bend, or if you don't have fingernails, you can use your chain nose pliers and do the same thing. So you're just making a bend like that. Then we're just going to make a simple loop. So using your round nose plier, I'm going to go about halfway up the tail of the head pin and fairly low on the barrel here because I want a fairly small loop. Not too low. We want it to be enough to go around this oval element, but not too big. So I'm just going to roll this down like that. And then I'll use my fingernail to kind of push that back so the loop is right at the top of the element. It's not quite at the top. I'm actually going to put my round nose back in there and bend it just a little more. That's just about right. Then I'm going to take my flush cutter, and the outside of the flush cutter here gives us a nice smooth cut. So I'm going to have that against the piece that I'm keeping, and it just nice and close to the base of that loop. I'm going to snip it off, and I'm just going to hold that thing so that the whole thing so the tail doesn't fly. Great. Okay, I'll set that aside. And then I'm going to make the other 2 dangles. There's a couple small ones here with a 4mm Fire Opal and a 3mm Jet AB. So I'll grab 1 of each of those. And one at a time, just make those dangles. Okay, so we've got our Fire Opal threaded on. And this time I'll use my fingernails to show you how to do that. I'm just going to put my fingernail right at the top of the bicone and just push against it and make about a 90-degree bend like that. Then I'm going to take my round nose, and these could actually have a fairly small loop on them, so I'm going to use just a bit further down on the round nose barrel there. And I'm just going to roll it until I have a loop, and then I'm going to roll it all the way down like that, and then make sure that it goes all the way so you're kind of hitting the bead. And then I'll put my fingernail there and bend it back so it's right at the top, just like that. Then I'm going to take my flush cutter, and with the outside of the flush cutter toward the piece I'm keeping, not the tail, I'm going to cut that loop. These ones I'm actually going to close up. So I'm going to take my chain nose plier and just rock it back and forth until my loop is nice and tight and closed, just like that. Okay, I'll set that one aside. I'm going to do the same thing with this little 3mm jet AB bicone. Got my round nose. I'm going to roll that up, right up against the bicone. Nice and tight. And then bring it back. You'll see you have a little more tail on this. That's no big deal. I'm going to cut it off anyway. So I'll grab my flush cutter and nip that off. And before I cut it, I want to secure that tail so it doesn't fly. Then it needs to be straightened out just a little bit. I'm just going to put my round nose plier in there and just kind of center it. Close the loop a little bit. And then I'll use my chain nose plier to grab the end of the loop and just rock it back and forth until the loop is nice and closed like that. And then just set it aside. So I've got my 3 dangles made. Those are all set. Then I'm going to grab one of these oval components, one of the leaf components, and a jump ring, and an ear wire. And that's all we're going to need to complete these earrings. So to assemble these, we've got all of our components here. The first thing I'm going to do is take my ear wire and I'm going to open it up with my chain nose plier, and you're always going to open up your ear wire sideways like this. Then, oh, you know what? I didn't close up this dangle. Let's close him up first. I'm going to rock that back and forth, get that nice and closed. And then I'm going to put it on my ear wire. And you see how this little ball kind of falls down? I'm going to push that back up, kind of have it upside down. And then I'll take my oval component and I will just put that directly on the ear wire loop. And then take my chain nose pliers and just close that back up. Rock it back and forth so you get a nice tight fit. And so now you've got a dangle in an oval, just like that. Then we're going to add these last 3 components with a jump ring. So I'm going to open up my jump ring. I'll take my chain nose pliers, and you can use a jump ring opener or you can use another pair of pliers. I'll just use these bent nose pliers. I'm going to open it up sideways. You always want to open a jump ring sideways. I'm going to clamp that. And then I'm going to thread on my jet dangle, my fire opal dangle, the leaf, and I'm going to have kind of the inside of the leaf that is kind of scooped out toward the crystal. Okay, then I'm going to orient my earring forward like this and put that on the jump ring as well. Then I'm just going to close up my jump ring, and you're going to close it back up sideways. Rock it back and forth until you get a nice tight fit. And there you have your beautiful, simple, fall-themed earring. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really fun to get to bring you projects like this and get you involved in jewelry making. It's such a beautiful hobby. It's something that I love, and it's great for me to get to share it with you. Have a great day.